getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
This is part 2 of the interview Officer Tatum is doing with quote unquote Nolan Wells' best friend. This ain't no best friend, bro. It's a lot of clipping and editing and retakes that is happening within these interviews. You about to see. I'm not even gonna tell you. Let's get into this video.
Getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now, here's the angle that you're gonna see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island.
Nobody said that. Nobody ever said that. This is a lie he's trying to keep pushing. Nobody ever said that. We seen the picture and we assume, okay, these might be the 3 to 4 boys that he left the island with, not went. We obviously seen videos of multiple people being on the island. We're not ignorant to think that he was just with 3 or 4 people when we seen hundreds of people.
All right, you guys, sorry about the sunglasses. It's very bright out here, and I never wear sunglasses, but we're at Horn Island, and almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here, but I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep, from way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people.
Probably 2,000 people, and nobody seen Nolan Wells lose his life. This doesn't help. This doesn't help Warren in them case. It's going to push us to believe that he actually did leave with a group of friends. And somehow his body ended up back on shore. You had all those people and nobody seen what happened to Nolan Wells. And the girl that they trying to put it off on was cooperative from the jump. And Warren, Wyatt, and all them other dudes went to go get lawyers. Yeah, man, come on. You making the case that them boys is guilty.
So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously, this is a Monday, and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting ready to sink. And so, and for what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man, get on the boat, get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was gonna stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30.
So they told him to get on the boat, get on the boat, get on the boat, and he and just so happened they kept his phone and his keys. They kept his phone and they kept his car keys. So he gonna believe White because he think White is always right. That's his MO.
They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat, he didn't. And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out.
I never heard that. Never heard that. And then you got to explain why did that boat come back and forth to this island. Let's see if he gonna mention that.
And claim
after they left, the boat returned back to Horn Island in another location.
These lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody. Pushing an agenda is wrong.
What the hell us going to Horn Island gonna do? We can see Horn Island on the map, nigga. You go out there and act like this is some investigative journalism that you doing. When you only going to stick up for one side, and that's the side of the boys being innocent. You not taking into account of the entire picture. You ain't doing that. You want to dispel white people doing anything negligence to a black boy. Cause you can't report that. You can't report that to your fan base.
And that's the reason why I came out here. I wanted to see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? You know, does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lies started. People were putting out on social media, knowing that they're lying, that this is what it was like on a day that Nolan and his friends came out here to Horn Island. And if it was 4 or 5 people and they came out here and Nolan
keep trying to push this same lie, bro. Nobody has said that. Nobody regurgitated this myth of it being 4 or 5 people when we seen the videos ourselves. We saying he probably left with 4 of those guys. Because Wyatt earlier in the first episode said it was 8 guys on one boat. It was about 10 to 12 on another boat and about 15 on the other one. So when they departed, we don't know how many people or what happened or who was on what boat. What lie is this? This nigga be grifting. And then the fact that he got a majority white conservative fan base, they're going to listen to a black man speaking about a black issue. You can easily manipulate and program and propagandize to white folks when you black and you have the same sentiment as them. Bro, do y'all know how advantageous it can be for me to just flip the switch and start talking about black on black crime, start talking about black people need to stop being victims, start talking about white people aren't racist. I can make $20,000, $40,000, $30,000 a month tomorrow if I start doing what Officer Tatum doing. Now check this out. If you want to see how you look in a black on black love t-shirts or hoodie, go to the website 95way.com, click on virtual try on, take a picture, upload the picture, bam. That's how you look in a black on black love hoodie or t-shirt. Y'all know this a protest to black on black crime. This a protest to them pushing a negative image on our people. So you wear this as a message and you live it as a mindset.
Was with them, and maybe it was a few people out here like it is today, and Nolan came up missing, then maybe it would be suspicious. But they didn't take the time to give context to the people because they're evil and they're liars. So if it was like that right now, when the situation happened, I can see how people had a concern. But you got to replay this moment with thousands of people here. If anything would have happened directly involving Nolan and his friends, you can't tell me that thousands of people wouldn't have seen anything happen.
Know why they couldn't see it happen? Because it didn't happen on the island. It happened when they took their ass 3, 4, 5 miles in the middle of them. That's when it happened. That's why nobody couldn't see anything. But he ain't gonna take that angle.
And so that's pretty much why I wanted to come here and show you guys. This is what they want you to believe it was like on that day, which is a lie. They want you to believe they came to a secluded island, just 4 of them, and then Nolan is left behind, and then his body's...
This dude is a liar, bro. This dude is a liar. He's trying to push that propaganda as if anybody was pushing that message that Nolan and his friends went to the island alone. No, nobody has said that. On the 4th of July, going to a beach, we just fought. Nobody said that, bro. This nigga lying.
Washed up on shore, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat out lie. there anything that you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July. This is where people come out to celebrate. And, I mean, if you...
White people. Well, y'all racist. White folks. If you have an anti-black friend, your ass racist. Like, if you have somebody that always go against his community and you friends with him or her, and you just so happen to be opposite race, just know you racist as too. A prejudice. I'm gonna keep it a bean. So Warren sitting here talking to this very anti-black man who pushes a lot of negative stereotypes and tropes. You'll never hear Brandon Tatum saying anything positive about black folks that goes against his rhetoric and his fan base and his audience. You'll never hear him saying anything positive unless that black person is also a Republican and that black Republican is also married to somebody white. So Warren doing this, you're not no friend. You're not no best friend to Nolan Wells. Your parents know who Officer Tatum is. You know who Officer Tatum is. Y'all know the sentiment, and y'all share the same sentiment of him speaking on how he speak about black people all the time, which make y'all ass just as prejudiced to black folks, especially the ones that ain't Republican and kissing y'all ass.
Fill the water, you can see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist deep water right there to neck deep, and then it drops from neck deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't even a quarter mile out the island, and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water. Yeah. So, I mean, we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where
How would he know that? How would he know the depth of, and why would he even take that even measurement? Or that's interesting. Why would you even try to estimate you coming off about let's go back? People be telling on themselves.
Island, and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water. Yeah. So I mean, we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west.
Does the boat calculate how deep the water is? Unless they anchored off. Unless they anchored off to measure that particular depth of water. Anybody that know about boats and take boats out, and y'all let me know, how would he know how deep that water is? And for what reason would that be so significant for him to remember on that day?
That's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I want to.
Now, why he switched? Y'all gotta know, why are you cutting? What is the cut? What reason do you need to cut this interview? This so transparent, getting to the truth, having the best investigation skills. Why you gotta cut?
Walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk.
That's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk.
That's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People
and that's where Nolan Wells' body was found, and that's where they were. See, they trying to y'all already said y'all was at the west tip of the island, and this is where y'all dock. But why are you coming here?
Talk about the phone situation. I want to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants. They're wet, and you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, Memorial Day, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phone. phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, you know, if you're sitting on a pond, if no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back.
So how y'all end up with Nolan Wells' phone if y'all knew y'all was leaving? Y'all knew all y'all left y'all phones on the boat. What you telling me one of y'all, hey bro, you left your phone? Did you say, oh, keep it, just keep it, I don't need it? Nolan Wells didn't ask for his phone before y'all left? See, Officer Tatum is not asking the right questions. He doing his softball ass interview so it can make these boys look like they ain't had nothing to do with this boy death. And I wouldn't doubt the family paid him to come do this.
I mean, you know, especially the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of
He ain't never done nothing like this.
rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like no one has their phone though, usually. I mean, unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand. They've been walking around Horn Island, you know.
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
right. I mean,
other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like there was at least, well, I wrote
have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like there was
his phone when y'all left, or how many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
right. I mean,
other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with to get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, you know, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. I mean, everywhere. Like, I mean, there was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like, we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, you know? And people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and, you know, they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, you know? And that's the way it is around here. You know, you don't take your phone and walk around.
He's trying to insinuate that Nolan was drunk. So he didn't know. See, this is not no friend, boy. But he is trying to clear himself. And I'm wondering why he's the only one. The only one on camera. Because there's some more kids there, too. They just not on camera.
On the island, you know, there's plenty of phones on the boat. And, you know, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And, I mean, we had 20 plus people spread between our 3 boats. So, of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. You know, a lot of girls like to take pictures, you know, in the water. And so do guys, but, you know, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else. But as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's just common sense, man. I mean, and describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online. How hectic was it out here? I mean, right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here.
Right.
But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So, like, how dense was it with people here?
Well, I mean, you look at all the videos, you know, that are spread out online, and a lot of them, you know, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know, you know that better than anybody. But, I mean, there was boats lined up all the way down the island.
I told you they know who Officer Tatum is. You know that better than anybody because they watch him. They're a fan of him. So of course they'll come watch or do an interview with the Republican Officer Tatum. Of course his family would do that. Of course you'll want to be seen with these people.
And there was rows. There was a first row, there's a second row. We were in the 3rd row where
He said exclusive screenshot. Exclusive screenshots. From who phone? Landmark, look up. That's from an airplane. They try to make it seem like this niggas he lame. He's trying to make it seem like this is from somebody that one of the teens, one of the boys. Exclusive screenshot. This means nothing. This screenshot of the island is unrelated to the case. It's unrelated to Nolan Wells.
It drops off, and then there was even boats in front of us.
But you can see all the boats though. You can see a lot of boats lined up, which makes it. Oh no, this might be significant. At 4:40, at 4:41, at 4. This makes it more. They just helping us because you got all these boats. Where's the west tip within this picture? I'm gonna figure it out. Not right now, but where's the west tip or the west side? I'm gonna come back to this photo.
And this went all the way down towards the east end of the island, and then there was people on the east tip. And we're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that.
Yeah.
I mean, 4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat. He didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues, and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically a pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch, and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit, and which is by the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just.
Why they do that? Y'all gotta pay attention to these goddamn. Y'all gotta pay attention to these goddamn cuts. For what reason would you cut there?
By the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up because
you see how they cut to it, and he had to come straight back to. Hey, you gotta re-say that because that's not gonna look good on camera. They're gonna take it out of proportion. So, cause you asked about Nolan, but you started talking about a damn boat.
Nolan part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up because I think it's important for people to have the context of like
what shit they been saying. Like we already know this is the alibi.
Was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen, and the beauty of all of this is that you guys have evidence to prove that. Of course, you asked Nolan to come on and different things like that. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Giving me a rundown of kind of what it was like on that day, and hopefully people can understand what the truth is and make their own decision on facts.
Right. I mean, based off people. There's not a lot of people that are from the Mississippi Gulf Coast that don't understand Horn Island and don't understand the way boating works. And boating is a tight-knit community. I like to fish a lot, and there's everybody. A lot of people know a lot of people. Everybody knows everybody. I know a lot of fishermen on the Gulf Coast. They know me and my buddies because we like to go in the water all the time. I mean, that's what we do in the summer. And I mean, a lot of people from the Gulf Coast know the truth behind. Oh, you don't take your phone out the boat. The little facts. It's a difficult subject. Oh, you don't take your phone out the boat. The little facts. It's a difficult subject. This Horn Island's like 11 miles long. Facts. It's a difficult subject. This Horn Island's like 11 miles long. Not to be exact, but around 11 miles long. It's not like this is a sliver of an island. It's a quarter mile. It's like a sandbar. No, this goes on to, even if we came around this corner right here, Brandon, we couldn't even see the end of the island.
Oh, really?
It's that long.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I thought that was the end right there.
No. I mean, it goes all the way down there, and I mean, it's a big island. There's a lot of people out here, and I mean, that's the truth. That's the way it was.
Man, ain't no truth. This does nothing. Officer Tatum is positioned. It's like, oh, this is the this is the information of the world. They've been saying the same shit. They've been telling the investigators and police officers. This is nothing new. This is not groundbreaking, bro. You just you took your ass out to the island and you got one of the witnesses that I don't even think he was involved like that. He don't even sound like he know nothing. But he seen Nolan there, his best friend, talking to somebody that's anti-black, and like, nah, man. Let me know what y'all think, man, because I think Warren is full of shit, just like Officer Tatum.